at Adria Karting Raceway. The sun is shining. It is 30 degrees Celsius and we are ready to race the OK final. The karts are on the circuit, as you can see, where we kicked off the 2020 season on the 26th of February with the WSK Champions Cup. There are very few Russians, unfortunately, here this weekend, but there's certainly Nikita Bedrin. Okay, he does live in Italy. He does drive for a Swedish team, and he has dominated OK up until this point. He starts on pole position, forward racing, 2-1-0, Nikita Bedrin. Forward racing from Belgorod down near the Ukrainian border. His young 6-month-old brother, Alessandro Tiene, is up here watching with us. He may only be 5 or 6 months old, but he watches very intently his older brother, who will start from pole position alongside Andrea Antonelli for AKM 203. On the outside of the front row of the grid from the city of Bologna, only about 1 hour's drive from here. Second row of the grid is Taylor Barnard, who has tasted victory here at Adria in the past, former winner of the WSK Champions Cup. Taylor Barnard from Norwich in England for Team Rosberg. Starts out of grid 3. He's had tremendous speed in the Kart Republic. 206. He's alongside the 2016 world champion, Pedro Hilbrand. Pedro is second in the series on 174 points. Took that fabulous victory right here, that race of the year on the first weekend of February. Well, the Tony Kart Racing team from Blanes, north of Barcelona in Catalonia, Spain, Hilbrand. Out of grid 4. This is the first of the boys from Brazil. Oh, menino do Brasil, Rafa Camara for the Forza Racing team. Starts out at grid number 5. He's been quick, but hasn't had the best starts throughout the heats. 2-5-3. You know that's JT from MK in the UK. Joseph Turney from Milton Keynes in the United Kingdom. With his mechanic Claudio Dionisi, starts on the third row of the grid. He took the victory at Lonato on the 21st of February. He leads the series. We speak of Os Meninos do Brasil. Oh, I do need practice, yeah, for me as well. It's been 4.5 months. The second of the boys from Brazil, it is Matias Morgato. Yeah, that was a poor effort. I'll give you that. He's alongside Norton Andreasen as the green flag flies. We'll go through the grid for you in its entirety in just a moment. 34 karts on the grid for the OK final. Welcome back to real life racing. Bedrin will start on pole position, the Russian for the Ward Racing team. Then it's Antonelli, Barnard, Hilbrand and Kamara. JT out of 6. And it's Morgato, Andreas and Levente Revesh, and the two-time world champion, the two-time Supermasters Series champion, Lorenzo Travisanuto. Oliver Grays alongside Pepe Marti, Lorenzo Patrese and TTB out of 14. Jamie Day from the Emirates, Luca Lystra for Forza Racing, Clayton Ravenscroft. The 239 is alongside Enzo Trulli out of 18. Noah Degnabol and the Lithuanian Kaja Sixnellis. And then the 11th row of the grid, Nicola Kuhlmann, Lorenzo Resico for Team Pantano, Van Hoppen, Startspada, Silverholm and Rousseau. Mr. Thompson back in 27th and for TK Racing, Kasper Janssen. The German Jakob Bergmeister is alongside the Brazilian Ricardo Gracia. Lola, la jeune fille du Paris en France, also for the Ward Racing team, is alongside the Dutchman in the 265 Energy Kart, Robert de Haan. Final row of the grid from the British Commonwealth, Charlie Burtz, 260, and Jimmy James. James Wharton, the 222, Paralyn on grid number 34. Had a forgettable race in the pre-final, just scraped in. Did both of them, in fact, Burtz and James Wharton, out of grids number 33 and 34 respectively. The Esprit 260 and Wharton in the 222 Paralyn. Here we go, the OK final, round 3 of the Supermasters Series 2020 restarts. Right now, here at Adria, Bedrin leads them up to the line. WSK, we are back as Bedrin leads down into turn number 1. Immediately on his hammer, is Taylor Barnard, the Team Rosberg driver. Slots into second place ahead of Antonelli. Tony Kart in fourth. It's the 255 machine of Hilbrand, just ahead of Kamara. And Norton Andreasen has made a great start to be in the battle for the lead on the opening lap. The field follow through. It's a clean start for the OK final, the third round this double-header weekend. And it is Nikita Bedrin driving as quick as he might in the 210 Tony Kart, who leads at the end of the first lap. Barnard in P2 for Team Rosberg. Antonelli has already lost about 8 to 10 kart lengths. They come across the line. Bedrin cuts the air for Barnard. Antonelli in P3, and it's Pedro, Rafa, JT's in 6th. Andreasen, Levente Reves, Travisanuto and Marti, the Catalan, in 10th place from Patrese, and TTB in position 12. Great start from Jamie Day. He's already up into 14th, behind Morgado, ahead of Enzo Trulli. The yellow flag is out because, as you can see, we have lost. I'll wait to confirm this exactly as the field do go through. It is hard to see from our vantage point. There is Bedrin. Barnard's still behind. I'll confess, for a moment I did think that was Barnard. It is hard to see from our vantage point, but no, Taylor's still there in second. It was Lorenzo Resico. The Team Pantano driver is the first to retire from this race as we concentrate on the battle for the lead with the Russian and the Englishman. So it's Bedrin, Barnard, Antonelli. There's the yellow flag for Resico. In the background, the Italian, the first retirement from this race. Antonelli is now starting to reel in the front two. It'll be a battle between three for the lead in just a moment. Charlie Wirtz has just retired off screen. A miserable weekend, but he will be back tomorrow for the fourth final round of the series. Charlie was up into 26th place, in fact, from grid 33, but has just retired at this point where the leaders are coming through now. There's Rafa Kamara, just ahead of Joseph Turney, the series leader. Although this is changing with every lap as it stands. Antonelli on 205 points, Hilbrand on 204, Turney on 198, so there's really not much in it. We come back tomorrow for the fourth round of the series to decide the titles for 2020. There's Antonelli. He was about 10 kart lengths behind Barnard, the Kart Republics, in behind the Ward Racing Tony Kart. Nikita has not put, I was going to say a foot wrong, he hasn't put a Bridgestone tyre out of place, let's say that, as Antonelli lowers the best mark to 48.569. Quickest driver on the circuit, he's right behind the Team Rosberg entry from England of Taylor Barnard. That's Turney going through, there's Marti in the blue and yellow, Fernando Alonso, Kart Republic. The rest of the field pour through, that was Tahan in the 265 Energy Car. Nicola Kuhlmann, who has had tremendous pace up until this week, or this point in the week, and he's back way down the field despite the fact he was starting off the front and finishing at the front in the heat throughout the week. There's Marti going through, the Spaniard into 9th, ahead of Lorenzo Patrese. Travisanuto back to 11th. Barnard in P2, and it's Antonelli. Tony Karts in 1 and 4. That's Pedro. Good drive from Rafa Kamara. He's holding his own for the Forza Racing team in 5th place. Right behind him is Turney in 253, the Tony Kart. 48.553. Nikita is pulling away from Taylor Barnard. Nikita is pulling away from the driver who many were predicting would win this race this afternoon. The Kart Republic so strong on the rubber, and it's painted black around this 1,302 metre circuit. That is Adria Raceway as Antonelli goes down the inside. Barnard waved him through virtually. You could see that. Barnard did not fight, actually I'll almost bet you that he backed out of the throttle and let Antonelli through. Couldn't hold him off for much longer. We'll try and stay with him. Let's see what Andrea Hakimi can do. There's still 3/4 of this race remaining. The WSK Supermasters Series. We are back here at Adria after a break of almost 5 months. There was ice coming into the track when we raced here in February. Let's take a look at the replay. But it's a beautiful sunny day. Got out of the throttle, did he? Either way, it's irrelevant. Antonelli here in the sunshine as the weather temperature tops 30 degrees Celsius. The track ripped up, and the Ward Racing Tony Kart is handling it best of all. Tony's got by. In fact, I'll correct myself. I told you, hey, I've had a break for 5 months too. This is not so easy, as it is not for the drivers as well. It is Hilprand in 4. I was going to say that Tony's got by Kamada, but in fact, it is still the Brazilian there in 5th place. Joseph still in 6th, the series leader. He drops to 3rd with 198 points. He won at Lonato on the 21st of February. The podium on that day, 34 days ago, was Joseph 1st, Pedro 2nd, and Andrea Hakimi in 3rd on the podium. So there's Barnard. They're not doing incredibly great times. Their sectors are pretty much all yellow, with the exception of Bedrin, who's gone yellow, purple, and then yellow. So he's done an incredibly quick second sector. But most of our timing screens, no one is really putting in their best laps thus far. There's Thompson going through. A quiet weekend for the driver from North London. The top Brit is Barnard in 3rd, turning in 6th. Oliver Gray's in 15th. Ravenscroft Clayton in 21st. Thompson down in 26th behind Koeman. Ahead of 6 Nellis, Startsbutter, Wharton, and Gracia, the final runner. Robert Dehaan, unfortunately, has retired, along with Resico, Wirtz, and Jakob Bergmeister. We'll see them back tomorrow for the 4th final deciding round, and of course next weekend at Circuito Internazionale Napoli Sarno for the first round of the 2020 WSK Euro Series. So there is Kamara. Started off the front of the grid throughout the heats, but generally fell back to finish in about 5th or 6th. But he's got good pace here this afternoon. He's holding his own. You just got a glimpse there of Bedra, and the inside rear off the deck. He's put in a purple sector. He's 1.3 seconds ahead of the rest of the field. He looks behind. A perfect weekend for the young Russian, who traditionally has not been one of the luckiest drivers. There is Kamada. He's actually closed right back up on Pedro Hilprand. So we thought that Turney would try and take the Brazilian, but the Forza Racing entry of Rafa Kamada, 229, more than holding his own. He's looking to find a way past the 2016 world champion, Pedro Hilprand. There's an opportunity. He was just too far back. The Esprit, powered by the TM, it's working. Thought about it there, put it in the middle of the circuit. Hilprand's in trouble here. Pedro looking very vulnerable. Kamada for Jamie Croxford's Forza Racing team. He looks really good. Watch down into turn 2. The Esprit 229. Thought about going down the inside. He's now all over the back of the Spaniard. In the Tony Kart, another opportunity. That's Turney in 253 from Milton Keynes in England, the series leader. The Lonato race winner back in position 6. Norton Andreas and the Super Swede, also for Ward Racing. Behind in 7th, ahead of Levente Revesh. Morgato and Pepe Marti in 10th place. Jamie Day is driving a sterling race. The boy from Dubai in the Emirates. In the Leclerc Racing Kart, he's in 11th place from so far back on the grid. Bedrin, the gap was 1.8 seconds. We'll check it now to Antonelli. 2 seconds. He's pulling away. Nikita surely will take victory as we well and truly pass half race distance. The order at the bottom of your screen. The Russian, the Italian, the Englishman. Then it's the Spaniard and the boy from Brazil, Rafa Kamada. all over the back of Hilbrand. Turney tried to stay with this battle. Every point counts for the 2020 WSK Supermasters Series here at Adria. Kamara needs to pass him though. He's got the speed, undoubtedly. Just too far back. TM Expree versus Vortex. Tony Kart, which also leads the race with Bedra, and there's Antonelli, there's Barnard. And now the battle between Rafa Kamara and Pedro Hilbrand. Watch down into turn number 2. The Vortex has got good horsepower. Down the inside, thought about it. Hilbrand does not flinch. Holds off the young South American. Antonelli 2.2 seconds back. Barnard now starting to be caught by the battle that we've been enthralled by. Hilbrand and Kamara on your screen. There's an opportunity. They've got speed in different parts of the circuit. Kamara tends to get the drive. Hilbrand's got it in a straight line. And we're talking thousands. Not a big difference at all. Both OTK equipment, although the Vortex versus the TM. From Forza Racing turns into turn 1 nicely. Does the Tony Kart. And when Kamara wants to make the move, he's just that too far back. The super experienced Spaniard. Let's not forget he also won the KZ2 International Super Cup in 2016. The same year that he won the World Championships. That was for the CRG team. His second stint with the green team. Pedro Hilbrand, second in the series at the moment. Antonelli will take the series lead in tomorrow's defining round. Down the inside, finally. Hilbrand goes side by side, tries to get him on the exit and does. Oh, Rafa Kamara. Is that his best shot gone? There's still 1/4 of the race remaining. He'll try again. It was a nice move. Pedro was probably expecting it. He'll be able to hear the TM engine. There's Turney. Behind him is Morgato. 2 of the Brazilians now inside the top 7. Matias in the 220. Paralin has got by Norton Andreasen. Jamie Day up into 9th place. Great drive from the Emirati from grid number 16. And this time he's done it. Rafa finally goes through. He's got the green machines behind him. Took 2 attempts, but now Rafa Kamara comes across the line in position 4. He's in fact 1 step off the podium. 4 laps now remaining. The gap is 2.8 seconds. Nikita Bedrin, as ever coached by the 2011 World Cup champion Felice Tiene, who has retired from driving to mentor his young protege. And Nikita's young 6-month-old brother, Alessandro Tiene, watches up from the 2nd story here on the start-finish line at Adria Raceway. Here is Nikita. He will so deserve this victory, as will the Ward Racing team. The gap 3 seconds. Nothing will stop him here except a disaster. And in 2020, well, you know what I'm thinking. Let's hope that's not the case. Bedrin, Antonelli, Barnard, Kamara in P4. The race leader, we wait. Here is Andrea. There is Taylor. Gave it everything, but he's in position 3. Remember, all these drivers will be back tomorrow, as we will be on WSK.it. It's a double-header weekend. This is round 3 being raced today, Saturday, and round 4 tomorrow, Sunday, here in the sunshine of Adria Karting Raceway. Antonelli, Barnard, I should say. Use English, of course. Kamara. 2 laps to go. Good drive from Rafa. This has been impressive. For the Forza Racing team, Jamie Croxford has sprung in his steps since the birth of his new daughter, Isabella, about 5 or 6 months ago. Bedrin, second to last lap. Antonelli in second, Barnard in third. I hate to tell you this, Kamara's out. Kamara has stopped at the edge of turn 2. Can you believe it? Off screen all by himself. Rafa Kamara is out. Rafa Kamara is out. Nikita Bedrin is about to come by. This is the last lap of the race. Kamara is still sitting in his cart. He has not moved. Kamara, what a heartbreak. He's driven superbly. Antonelli in second, Barnard third. Hilbrand retakes P4. Rafa Kamara off screen has retired with a catastrophic failure on the second to last lap of the race. Take nothing away though for Nikita Bedrin. This is the final lap. These are the final few corners. He so deserves this for the Ward Racing team. The Russian rocket, Nikita Bedrin, wins finally here at Adria. The Kart Republics across the line in second and third. Antonelli with that second place takes an 11-point lead into the final round tomorrow in 24 hours time. Heartbreak for Kamara, was in position 4 after going by Hilbrand. The top Brazilian is Matheus Morgato, who comes home in 5. What a drive from Jamie Day in 6th. Nikita Bedrin from Russia. There is only a handful of Russian drivers here. He is one of them, and he has just taken a superb victory here at Adria. Bedrin takes the victory from Antonelli by 4 seconds for the Ward Racing team. Taylor comes home third, so it's a Russian, an Italian, and an Englishman on the podium this afternoon. Hilbrand inherits position 4. Again, commiserations for Kamara. Morgato, the top Brazilian, in 5. Jamie Day 6. Norton Andreas in 7. From Reves, Patrese. And from Barcelona in Spain, Pepe Marti in the Fernando Alonso Kart Republic rounds out the 10. Well, you can't say he did not deserve that. He hasn't been the luckiest driver in the past, but a perfect drive here this afternoon. While all that was happening, we were concentrating on Kamara, also out. Can you believe this? Joseph Turney. Wow, drops down to 4th in the standings. Also had a failure on the second to last lap. Turney did not finish, neither did Kamara. Classified in 28th and 29th positions respectively. But the top step of the podium will be stood on by the Russian Nikita Bedrin, alongside the 2 Kart Republic drivers, Antonelli and Barnard. The podium for OK in just a moment. A fabulous comeback, the OK final here this afternoon. It is very warm. The drivers make their way up. The Bridgestone caps go on. They're hot, they're sweaty, especially when you consider one driver from England and one driver from Russia. They're not used to this weather. A fabulous comeback for WSK, the podium presentation for OK here at Adria this afternoon. In third place from England for Team Rosberg Kart Republic, Taylor Barnard. In second for AKM Motorsport Kart Republic from Italy, Andrea Kimi Antonelli. He has deserved this from so long. He has driven brilliantly from Russia for the Ward Racing team. The winner is Nikita Bedrin. Third place from England, Taylor Barnard. Second place from Italy, Andrea Antonelli. And the winner of this, the third round of the series from Russia, Nikita! the national anthem of Russia. The podium for the OK final. Third place, Taylor Barnard from England. Second, Antonelli with the series lead by just 11 points for the final round tomorrow. And from Russia, he so deserves this, Nikita Bedrin. Stay with us on WSK.IT, the junior final in just a moment.